Hey, this is Mike from Junkie on Crafts and Builds, and tonight we are looking at the brand new G.I. Joe Classified Series number 119 Cobra Ferret Scout and Cobra Ferret ATV. Now, this set just came today, so I'm really excited to tear this box open. Now, I had this as a kid. I really enjoyed it. I'm hoping that this upgraded new version fits the bill. So looking at the box, we got this really nice graphic up front here of two ferrets going across with the scouts, really showcasing that new sculpt of that very like ATV BMX layout that the Ferret Scout has. And we got a nice window package of the figure here up front. On the side, we have number 119 with the QR code that goes nowhere, and a little close-up of the Ferret Scout face and the tech specs. On the other side, we have this really nice colorized version of the ferret. I got a little bit of dust from the box on it, but don't worry, we don't care about the box that much. And of course, we have the back of the box showing the Ferret Scout at 5.9 inches or 151 millimeters. And we have the Ferret ATV here, as well as all the accessories that come with the driver and some highlights. So that's everything for the packaging. Let's get the Ferret Scout and her Ferret ATV out of the package and see what they are all about. And with the outer package removed, we see how the ferret is boxed here. We got all four of these tires as well as the body. The Ferret Scout sits here, and of course we still have the remaining box of stuff in the Cobra Ferret Scout and Ferret ATV box, number 119. So tearing apart everything, here's the ferret and all the parts and pieces that put it together, as well as our handy dandy little instruction manual. Simple layout, real easy to see how things are going to go. Main thing to look at is how they say to orient the wheels. We are making V's, not TPs. V's, not TPs. So let's just go ahead and get everything together. And here we have the ferret all put together. Installation was very easy. So let's go ahead and zoom in for a closer look. The Ferret ATV was first released in the vintage line in 1985, and it was also sold through its discontinuation in 1987. So this ferret looks really, really nice. It's covered with tampo. I like the dark blue matte color with the black. Definitely invokes that vintage line. Detail wise, we have the front cannons here, which are blast effect compatible. We've got our steering column here, and it has this really neat little display up front here. Each wheel has an independent suspension. Unfortunately, these wheels do not turn with the steering column, but I can forgive it. I mean, what are you going to do anymore? Wheels are a nice rubber. Unlike the Vamp, the wiggle is not as pronounced. The mushroom peg is a little more tolerance that plugs into the axles here. We've got blast effects here on the back of the exhaust. Caution exhaust is there as well. We got tail lights, got front lights here. We've got a decoed, brush guard and winch, which winch obviously does not work. We have the laser cannon on the side. On this clip, be careful when you take everything out of the bag. This is very easy to overlook, and then you're like me scrounging around trying to figure out where the hell I got it. It is a bit of a bugbear to get this bottom connection into the gun, so be aware when you try to pull this out and have the Scout using it independently. It is a tight fit getting in there. And the clip, again, it seems fairly sturdy, but as always with C-clips, be careful for stressing them out. I found that this back roll cage is a little loose on this one here. I didn't have to put this on, it was already in place, but we have Cobra here across the side of the body. XO2, secure cover, all the usual accoutrements that we remember putting the stickers on. We do have this Semper Fidelis Serpentis on here. I guess we're using that for everything. I thought that was just a Cobra Hiss thing, but apparently not. Unless this is going to be a redeco in a Cobra Hiss color, because they're trying to use that all at once. And of course, we do have the ever popular misspelling of missile launch. Before operating this vehicle's advanced weapon systems, be sure to pledge loyalty to Cobra. Refer to the HUD display for launching instructions. There's the display. You figure it out from there. Nice close-up again. The engine here is in that nice silver. And rotate up that far. Rotate down. And go. Obviously not 360 because of the steering column, but you get a fairly decent range. So that is the Ferret overall, but you can't have the vehicle without a driver, so let's check out the Ferret Scout Female. And here we are with the Cobra Ferret Scout Female. She is a straight redeco of our Cobra Valkyries, which is not a bad thing. I mean, I did a video for these two ladies, and that's going to be up here somewhere. But yeah, it's a smart reuse. Some of the same issues that I had with the Valkyries I see in this Scout as well. Again, the limbs, the materials used for the arms and legs are a little soft. Thankfully, I don't have any issues with the biceps, and I'll show that when we go through the articulation super quick. So as you can see here, we got this really nice sculpt. So again, we got this really nice gray, this matte gray. It goes around with the accents here on the side. No alternate heads, so the Scouts are all Caucasian. New piece we have here is this really cool like BMX motocross chest armor that goes all the way around. It does not come off, just like the Valkyries. And one of my gripes is that this belt is a little too floaty for me. Definitely one of those you got to kind of play around with just before you pose. Same thing with this thigh holster. Boots with the shin guard. We have a knife sheath here on this leg. Her accessories include the main thing, which is this really cool newly sculpted helmet. Definitely, you know, motocross styled with little white fangs here across the top of this white front visor. And you can fit it overhead. Now, I will say this is a tight fit. A very tight fit. Close-up look on her face here. Looks pretty cool. And there have been some other videos out on the internet trying to put some goggles onto the Ferret Scout. This pair of goggles is from General Hawk, the larger of the two sets to go around that helmet. And it doesn't look too bad. It kind of cuts in a little close to the face, but overall, if you wanted to show her with this, you can accomplish that fairly easily. Her next accessory is this little combat blade, and that, of course, just goes right in the sheath. Not going to come out. Very well toleranced. And her last accessories are a pair of handguns, similar to what we got with the Valkyries, in black plastic, and they will fit in both the belt holster and the thigh holster. They are Blastify compatible. You can use either Hasbro or Valaverse. It doesn't matter which. You can angle the Valaverse a little bit better so you don't have to see that extra pin. They're pretty cool overall. And here we have the Ferret Scout finally on top of the Ferret ATV, and she sits fairly well. Again, maybe I'm not doing it right, and you guys can correct me in the comments section. I got her knees bent fairly straight, you know, and try to get her as close as I can with her arms being this, you know, the length that they are. This was the best I can get where she can actually hold the, you know, the steering column and everything. So getting her to look up with that double ball peg, you know, she can look up fairly straightforward here. She doesn't look bad on it at all. So let's do some more comparisons for the vehicle. So first comparison we have is the Ferret next to the Cobra coil cycle. I don't know who ever uses this thing at all. I can't believe it, you know, it was such a highly sought after vehicle just to get the Baroness. Let's just move on past this one. And here we have it next to the Ram cycle. And here's my other Ram cycle with my 3D printed Silver Mirage sidecar designed by Mark II Designs. I love this thing. Here we are with a Python Patrol flight pod. Not really vehicle, but this is Scrap Iron's missile drone. Here we are next to Serpentor's Air Chariot, Marvel Legends Squirrel Girl's scooter, and finally these SX motorcycle, motocross things that I found at Target. I got this for like 11 bucks, but it'd be kind of cool to have. Now this is a little large for scale, but I think that's okay. Going through articulation real quick, we'll leave the helmet on because I think that's how everyone's going to display this figure. With the double ball peg system here for the neck, the head can look up that far before the helmet starts moving around, down that far. So not the greatest articulation there, but we do get a little bit of a tilt here on the head. Shoulders, just like the Valkyries. A little tight here, but you can get a T-pose out of that. We have bicep rotation here with a curved cut for the bicep itself and the tricep. There have been some other videos out there saying that this has been a little bit of a bugbear because of the softness of the arms in regards to the plastic, as well as the slender nature. But thankfully, both of mine rotate fairly well. We have, of course, double jointed elbows. Wrists rotate, and both wrists have vertical hinges for holding the weapons, so that's a very good thing. We're going to get a little bit of limited articulation in the torso because of this chest piece, but the mid-torso twist, you can get a little bit here and there and some twist up top to go with the waist swivel at the bottom here. You're not going to get much down at all or back, so unless you want to take and heat the figure up, take her apart up here and trim off some of that plastic to get a little more range. You can do that if you wish. Floating belt is floating as always. So we got our lower legs here with our drop downs. You can get up that far before they start flaring out. You can go ahead and make the split. We have double jointed knees, which is nice. There you go. Better range with the double jointed knees. We have a boot cut. Ankles can go down one click, up one click, and we have our usual rocker. So nothing out of the ordinary for a classified figure's articulation. For comparisons, here is the Ferret Scout next to her mold mate, the Cobra Valkyrie. Then we have Retro Scarlet, which is a new body buck mold that we'll be seeing again when the Dragonfly comes out with Glenda. And finally, we have the female version of the Steel Core. Such a disappointment compared to these other three up here. Next comparison gives us a little homage love to the Ferret ATV vintage box. We have Retro, Storm Shadow, and Firefly version 2. And for a little bit of love to the Deke cartoon, we have Metalhead here. And for crossing the streams, like we always like to do, we have Valaverse, Action Force, Sergeant Slaughter version 2 here, just to show off a little more of that wonderful scale. Final impressions of the G.I. Joe Classified Series number 119, Cobra Ferret Scout and Cobra Ferret ATV. I really think it pays a nice homage to the original O-Ring vehicle set. The inclusion of a driver specific for the ATV is a very nice touch. And it's a great reuse of an existing successful mold in regards to the Cobra Valkyries. The new helmet sculpt is fairly good. It is a tight fit, so please be careful when you're pulling that off. More than likely, the head's gonna come off, and you gotta watch when you try to remove it. I would recommend slowly scooching it up off the head. The ATV itself, again, it's nice, it's sturdy. It's a little hollow in the bottom though. But the independent suspension, the rubber tires, and all the main accessories, which are blast effect compatible, are definitely nice. All in all, if you had a chance to get this, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. There's not really too much else to say about it. It's a nice vehicle for your collection. That's everything, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video and this little quick review for the Ferret. If you did like it, please hit that like button, leave a comment. I love interacting with everyone. And if I've earned your subscription, thank you so much. It takes a second of your time, but it really helps out the channel as I go forth to try to get to my personal goal of 1,000 subscribers in 2024. and your help would be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to share this out to your friends, and I thank you guys once again. Enjoy your collecting, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.